There are many questions in life that have baffled scientists and philosophers for thousands of years. What happens to us when we die? Where is our consciousness? Is there a God? Well, there's one age-old question that I set out to answer. Who is the better MP5, Rook or Doc? I honestly can't believe that no one has definitively answered this question before, so the burden falls on me. After hours of grueling research, I have come up with an answer, but first, let me know what you think in the comments. Is it Rook or Doc? There's only one right answer here, and it may not be as obvious as you think. Okay, let's look at the attachments first before we get into the real juicy stuff. Rook's MP5 has access to the red dot, the hollow, reflex, and the 2x sight. Doc's MP5, on the other hand, has access to the red dot, new hollow, reflex, and the 1.5. Both have access to the flash hider or muzzle brake. For grips, Doc's MP5 has access to only the vertical grip, while Rook's MP5 has access to vertical grip. Ubisoft has long denied that the MP5s are different in any way, even showing the exact same stats in the menu, so let's look a little bit closer by getting into a custom game and checking from there. First, I wanted to test off recoil. I used the flash hider both times, and you can see that there's actually a huge difference. Rook has roughly double the recoil that Doc does, so this is understandable because, as you know, spawn peeking with Doc is much easier than with Rook. This low recoil on Doc means that you're going to be hitting much more consistent headshots, which is already a huge plus for Doc. If we look at the raw damage next, there's also a huge difference. Let's start by analyzing Rook's damage against each armor type. With Ash representing the 1 armors, Rook does a measly 20 damage per bullet. Oh, I'll just edit this part out. Moving on to Sledge, for 2 armors, Rook only does 18 damage. And finally, with 3 armors such as Montane, Rook will only do 13 damage. Now taking a look at Doc's damage, if you look at 1 armors, you can see that Doc does 27 damage. This is 7 damage higher than what Rook is capable of. So already you can see Doc's MP5 really just blows Rook's MP5 out of the water. For 2 armors like Sledge, Doc's MP5 does 24 damage. Again, an increase from Rook's measly 18 damage. And finally, for Montane and other 3 armors, Doc's MP5 does a whopping 21 damage, a whole 8 points higher. Well, that concludes the testing I did. You can clearly see that there is a definitive winner. Doc's MP5 is just superior in almost every way. Although, Rook's MP5 does have the 2x, so that's pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, through this scientific and totally unbiased testing, you can see that Doc's MP5 is much better than Rook's MP5. So that answers the age-old question. It really is Doc's MP5 that is better than Rook's.